it's Laura. I'm back with another video, and today I'm sharing something super special because it's actually one of the 31 lectures that are part of my e-course that I'm releasing this month. So I'm super pumped to share it with you guys, and I hope you enjoy it. Today's lecture is all about time management because we all have 24 hours in the day, but somehow there are people who manage to squeeze a lot more into that time than others can do. So really we need to figure out how to feel like we have more time in the day. And the key to that is time management. The first and actually most important thing when we talk about time management is learning how to respect and value your own time. And you get that by saying no to things that you don't actually need to be doing. Now there's a big difference because I don't want you guys saying no to things that scare you. We're going to talk about that in another lecture. So you should be saying yes to things that are a little bit scary. But this is about saying no to things that you really don't need to be doing, that aren't going to be of any value to you, that aren't required for you to do, and really aren't going to add anything, that you're saying yes to just because you don't know how to say no. Okay? So, say no. So now, hopefully we only have necessities on our task list, but we still probably have a really long list of things to do. So we still need a system to really maximize our time and maintain our sanity. So let's get to it. First, let's talk about what you'll need. In the course printable section, you'll find these handy dandy worksheets. Yes, we watch too much Blue's Clues. None of these are dated, so you can print a million of them and use them for the rest of your life. We've got our Get It Done Monthly Planner, our Get It Done Weekly Planner, and then the really key one, our Get It Done Daily. You don't want to be in survival mode all the time. You want to be spending your days deliberately. And having time for you too. Really what I'm going to present to you guys is a way to plan your week and your day so that you're really controlling what you spend your time on, as opposed to just reacting to things as they come up and really just putting out fires throughout the week. So as we talked about in our first lecture, the first day of the month is obviously a great time to really look at your monthly planner and fill it in with big projects and big sort of dates that you need to remember. And Sunday is always a great day to really sit down, even for only 10 minutes, and go through your weekly planner. So let's get to that first.
First we have our monthly planner. Now I use this to really keep a good idea of the big picture for my month. So I'll toss in my work schedule, the rest of my family's schedule, and any days that I have off. Alright, now to the weekly planner. I always like to start with a to-do list so that I can get basically everything out of my head and onto paper. Then I'll toss in my work schedule for the week and any appointments or meetings, things like that I already have scheduled and know in advance. Now to the daily planner. Every morning I like to take 5 or 10 minutes for myself, just sit with my cup of coffee and plan my day. The first thing I jot in is always the to-do list, and I use this referencing my weekly to-do list. It usually looks pretty much the same, although I try not to add everything. I do what I think I can fit in this day if all were to go well. There's plenty on this list that probably won't get done, and that's okay. Then I hop over to my actual schedule and toss in things that are already planned for the day, and I use that referencing my weekly planner. Now, the most critical part of your daily planner is going to be this section right here, which is called Today's Top 3. And these are the top 3 tasks that you really want to focus on. I don't want you to think about anything else on your to-do list except for these 3. Now, once I've decided on those top 3, I go back to my schedule and add them in so that they actually have a spot on my schedule and they're going to get done. Make sure you do this, guys, and toss in something fun too. As we talked about in our first lecture, meal planning is another huge time saver, and so if I'm already running on a meal plan for the week, I'll toss in that up here, and then I'll also toss in my little exercise routine. Today it's just stairs.
One of my favorite planning strategies for personal and professional growth is something I like to call a daily dare. It's something that's going to take you out of your comfort zone, but potentially lead to something in the future. Think of it as a little seed. You're going to plant a lot of them, and all of them may not come to fruition, but a few of them will. So it could be something as simple as, speaking to the new girl in the office who could potentially become a really good friend, or mustering up the courage to send an email proposing a collaboration. Really just anything. It's a dare though, because it should make you a little bit nervous and it should make you feel a little bit uncomfortable, but you need to take a step out of your comfort zone. okay? And then my other like really favorite thing is what I like to call a daily treat. And that's just something, you know, as you get better with planning, you're going to love the feeling of just checking off boxes from your to-do list. Like that itself is going to become a little bit of a high. But sometimes that's not enough, especially when the tasks are something that we really don't want to be doing but still have to be. For that, it's always nice to have something to look forward to. It can be something as simple as a glass of wine after dinner, or, you know, an episode of your favorite TV show. It's just something to look forward to. A tiny bit of light at the end of the tunnel. Especially for those of you who have really big plans, the final big light at the end of the tunnel might be really far away. So really to set your eyes on a much smaller little prize, a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, make your tunnel just be today.
So now I'll just toss in my daily dare for the day and my treat. One thing I like to do is make sure I have everything with me that I need to actually complete the tasks that are on my top 3. So I write that in the notes section, things that are critical not to forget. Another tip is to group your errands together so that you can get them all done. It's so much easier if you're already out.
Starting is the hardest part. Once you're going, once you got in a little groove, you just keep going, just keep going, just keep going. But it's so much easier once you've gotten over that activation energy.
Yeah, I just went there. Do you guys remember that from chemistry? No PTSD, but...
This is a real thing. It's not just chemistry. Well, not that chemistry isn't real, but it's not just at the chemical level. This is at like the full life productivity, how the way humans work level. Let me explain it a little bit more.
Oh yeah, we're going there. About to draw a graph. Now, on our y-axis, we have energy. On our x-axis, we have our reaction. And it goes a little something like this. A big amount of energy required to get going, and then once you're going, well, smooth sailing. So all that energy right there at the top, that's the activation energy required to start. And then it's, like I said, smooth sailing from there. Now, the reaction can actually go a lot easier and can happen a lot faster and look a little something like this with so much less activation energy if we use something called a catalyst. Yep, you guys remember that one too? It's real. Now, if we take a step back and stop thinking just at the chemical level, this is very real at the life level, like I said. And instead of having our reaction on this axis, this is really our productivity. It's the amount of work that we get done. And on the other axis, it's still very much all about energy. And the catalysts, well, they're still very real catalysts for life and productivity. And if you guys know me, my first catalyst is coffee. A little caffeine never killed anybody. In fact, it led to so much productivity, so grab a cup of coffee. But the other thing is setting a timer. Now set it for 5 minutes and hide all of your distractions. Force yourself to work on your task for the next 5 minutes. And obviously it doesn't sound like much time, and it's not, but that's the point. It's a small enough amount of time that you can convince yourself to not give into any distractions, to overcome that activation energy, and next thing you know, you're working.
If you've really tried working, like giving your best, your all into those little 5 minutes of time, and you're still not feeling like you can get into the groove of things, it's just time to move on. Put that task back on the shelf and address something else. Even if it's not on your top 3, sometimes you need to just start with something that's easy. So maybe responding to emails is a little bit of a more mindless task, or something that's a little bit more exciting to you. Start with that if you need to, okay? Because sometimes one of those catalysts can just be checking off a box. Check one box off, and that could be your catalyst, okay? So don't spend more than that designated 5 minutes of focus if you don't need to, because then you're just wasting time. You're trying to get the same thing done, and it's just not meant to happen right now.
All right, now for a little pep talk, because I really need you guys to remember something.
Every day is not going to be a perfectly planned day, and we're not always going to be able to check off even the top 3 boxes. We're not always going to be able to follow the schedule that we laid out for ourselves. So be kind to yourself. Know that we all have those days. These planners are really just made to provide some structure so that we don't have to keep juggling it all in our heads, driving ourselves crazy and not being able to think clearly. Just get it out with a plan so that we can be really purposeful with our time. Okay, that's pretty much what I have for you for today's lecture. As always, leave either comments below or on our private Facebook group if you have any questions at all, and I can try to address them in a future lecture or directly on the page, okay? See you guys tomorrow. I really hope you guys liked that lecture from my course. As I said, it's just one of the 31 lectures. I'd love to have some of you guys on board for the class. We've already got an amazing group of girls who are signed up. Check out the course page. I've linked it below if you do want any more information. If not, don't worry. I'll keep posting videos. So far, I've been pretty much on a monthly schedule here on my YouTube channel, and I'm going to try to stick to that. I'm going to keep trying to give you good stuff, okay? Bye, guys.